Hi, so my name is Addie Gao, and this is my report two video project. Today we're going to be talking about the fermentative processes and a little bit about the history of homemade miso. So a little bit of history on miso. It's been included in Japanese cooking for over 1,300 years. It's thought to have originated in China, but it was introduced in Japan in the 7th century during the Yaoyi period. During the Heian period, it was used as a luxury item that was consumed directly or on rice. So unlike the miso soup behind me here, it was not watered and diluted in this way. It was eaten in a different way. And on top of that, miso does come in a lot of different flavors. You can make it sweeter, you can make it more savory. And so they weren't just eating the very concentrated substance that we know today. But much like in the West, salt was used as a currency, and so miso was used the same, especially because it was something that only the elite had access to for a period of time. And then during the Song-Go period, it was taken by soldiers to war since it traveled well, and this is the beginning of when miso started to be integrated into more casual cooking, and people had more access to it. So we're going to learn about how to make it at home now. So the recipe, you'll need 30 minutes of prep time. It'll take about 1.5 hours to cook. The soak time is 18 hours and the fermentation time is 6 months. So you won't be eating it right after you prepare it, but it's worth the wait. So you'll need soybeans, rice koji, and natural sea salt. And then you'll need 2 bowls, 1 strainer, 1 pressure cooker, alcohol cloth, food processor, and then a glass jar. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your soybeans and you're going to wash them. Then you'll let them soak in water for about 18 hours. After you soak them, you'll take the soybeans and cook them on high in that pressure cooker for about 20 minutes. And after pressure cooking, you'll mash the beans into a paste. A key thing is that you're going to want to let the paste cool before you add the koji, because you're adding a live microbe. And so if you add it too hot of a paste, the microbes will die and you won't get fermentation. So you'll add the fungus and then you'll also add the salt and you'll knead everything together. After that, you will wipe down the jar with alcohol to try to eliminate all the microbes that might be pre-existing. You'll place the paste into the jar and pack so no air is present. You'll salt the top of the paste and then you'll add plastic wrap to the top of everything just to eliminate air. Then you'll also add something heavy on top of that just to make sure that everything, there's no air possible, because you're trying to get a fermentative reaction. You'll close the jar, place the jar into a dark bag, and you'll put it away for 6 months. At 3 months, you will go ahead and check it and remove mold. That is pretty common, and you can kind of scrape it off the top. And then after 6 months, you can take it out and enjoy. So now we're going to talk about the organism that makes this all possible, Aspergillus oryzae. It's in the kingdom fungi. It's in the class Urothiomyces. It's in the order Urotales. It's in the family Trichocomomyces, the genus Aspergillus, and then the species Aspergillus oryzae. The natural habitats and reservoirs is isolated mostly from soils and plants, but specifically on rice. And then growth conditions, the optimal growth is between 32 and 36 degrees Celsius, pH 5 or 6. It can sporulate at pH 2 or 3, however, and then we need a water activity of 0.8. So sensory and safety attributes, clearly this Aspergillus oryzae is a very close relative of Aflavus. However, it does not make aflatoxin, so it is not toxic to consume, really important distinction. But in terms of fermentative processes, as it is a filamentous fungi, meaning that it secretes a lot of extracellular enzymes, specifically alpha amylase, glucomylase, etc. And that means that it has the ability to degrade carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Many byproducts are produced, including maltose, glucose, fructose, ethanol, and those typically are fed into future pathways, biochemical pathways. Specifically for miso, the umami flavor does come from glutamic acid, which is going to be produced as a breakdown of proteins. And then also the Maillard reaction is going to help produce that typical characteristic flavor. And that's going to be used through an amino acid with a reducing sugar. sorry. Other products of Asia are going to incorporate this fungus. And so today we do see it in probiotic and feed supplements for livestock, but other classic Asian foods have employed this fungus for a long time, including soy sauce and sake. But there are plenty more. So here's a list of my references. Thank you so much for watching my video presentation, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.